and I remained fiercely devoted to wild creatures outside, even as I tamed my own animal body into womanhood. When I was 10 years old, I took my concerns straight to what I perceived as the top and wrote letters to the president about environmental injustice. I would later volunteer for Friends of Animals, intern at an animal rights magazine, protest circuses, and work on behalf of wolves. I studied our interconnection through ecology and confirmed my early instinct that the hierarchical pyramid was a lie. But something was missing. I adored animals and felt a sense of peace in nature, but like many humans, I had forgotten how to navigate my environment. And most of all, I had forgotten that I am nature. I was circling my own need to rewild. It wasn't until I studied herbalism and learned to forage food, becoming truly intimate with the land under my feet, that I began to feel like an animal aware of her ecosystem. A veil was lifted that had stood between me and the natural world. Home to countless plants, insects, birds, and fungi, whose health and well-being is inextricably connected to ours, the land around me came alive. It was then that I realized my work: to reconnect people to nature and, in my own way, remind humans that we too are animals. I began offering nature connection experiences in collaboration with wildlife organizations like the Wolf Conservation Center in New York, where I finally met a wolf and truly learned to howl. At the Jaguar Rescue Center in Costa Rica, I learned about the emotional lives of howler monkeys firsthand, and I had the honor of witnessing animal rescue, rehabilitation, and release. When we forget that we are nature, we destroy the very home we and all other animals depend upon to survive and to thrive. Woven together in wild beauty, we belong here. We need not feel so lonely. This book is my invitation to you to embrace your animal nature. Like gray wolves, black bears, howler monkeys, and other wild kin, our animal bodies offer us profound pleasure, love, wonder, healing, and connection. We thrive when we are at home in our skin. Yet we often try to tame our bodies and deny our most basic primal needs. A human being detached from their bodily existence is not rational. Yet it is rationality, a supreme intelligence, or in some cases, the pious or spiritual part of us that we've been told makes humans different from fellow animals. Aggression toward animals and the animal aspects of ourselves is routine. This book is my own journey beyond the shame of pleasure, hunger, and the pressure to be good, to embracing my earthly body and becoming whole. The 4 parts of the book, enclosures, rehabilitation, soft release, and homing, follow the arc of an injured animal's return to nature and to home. And in our case, a more embodied, instinctual self. A self that heeds circadian rhythms, embraces pleasure, maintains necessary boundaries, and is able to express anger instead of bottling it up inside. In Earthly Bodies, I return to my childhood love of more than human animals as a lens through which I more clearly see myself and my animal body that works so hard to take care of me, even when I criticized her and tried to push her away. Celebrating the lives of 23 animal kin, I share aspects of our common ground while shedding misguided stories of separation. For centuries, we've built walls, both literal and metaphorical, between ourselves and the wild. We've built a world of comfort and control, and in doing so, we've severed vital connections. Forgetting or denying that we are animals may also mean that we clear-cut forests and put our creature comforts above the well-being of the environment. Plants that at one point in time helped us heal have become scenery and, in some cases, weeds to eradicate. But land outside is much more than a resource to be exploited or scenery to be maintained. Framing nature as other alienates us from our planet, our home, leading us to lose touch with our interdependent roots. When we separate ourselves from the wild,